As we start this new week, we're going to start a new section. In Lesson 1-6, we're going to be subtracting integers. We've already covered the rules of addition, same signs, add and keep the signs, and unlike signs, subtract and keep the sign of the greater absolute value. Well, the rules of subtraction will lead us to addition. The rule for subtraction states to subtract, you add the opposite. And we've already discussed opposites, so let's see how this works. You're going to start each problem by rewriting them as additions. And you may have had a phrase that helped you to remember this, keep, change, or keep, switch, change. Well, I'm just going to refer to it as add the opposite. I'm going to keep, and then I'm going to add the opposite of 7, gives me -7. I now have an addition problem, and when these signs are unlike, I'll subtract and keep the sign of the greater absolute value. Let's see that again. Subtraction, -5 minus 9. I'll keep my first number, and then I'll add the opposite of the second number. This time I have like signs, so I'll just add them and keep the sign. Negative plus negative gives me negative. Third problem, I'm going to add the opposite. I'll keep and add the opposite, and that will give me 2 positives, which gives me 8. Try the next 3, and we'll compare answers. No shortcuts here. We're going to add the opposite. We're just going to rewrite it as an addition. I then look at my signs, and if I see that they're the same signs, I'll just add and keep my sign. Subtraction tells me to add the opposite. Unlike signs, subtract and keep the sign of the greater absolute value. Once again, subtraction tells me to add the opposite. I now see additive inverses, and my answer is 0. In my next problems, I have 2 subtraction operations. So I'm going to add the opposite twice. So I'll keep and add the opposite. I'll do that a second time because I see subtraction. I'll add the opposite. As I see my same signs are together, so when I did the multiple additions, same signs I'll just add. Unlike signs I'll subtract. And there's my answer. One more. I have 2 symbols, 2 subtractions, so I'll keep and add the opposite. I'll now keep and add the opposite. Again, these like signs will get combined, -12 plus 6. Unlike signs, subtract and keep the sign of the greater absolute value. If we just follow that simple rule, you'll do just fine. Practice a few, and we'll go over them. Copy the original problem. In the second column, please rewrite it as an addition, and then simplify. We'll do a couple together. -4 plus, add the opposite, -11, yields a -15. I'll keep and I'll add the opposite. I see unlike signs, I'll subtract and keep the sign of the greater absolute value. On to the next one. I'll subtract, and when I subtract, it says to add the opposite. -2 plus 8. Unlike signs, subtract and keep the sign of the greater absolute value. There are a few more on this slide. Copy them in your notes, test them out, and we'll go over the answers during our Zoom lesson today. And just 2 more problems to end the day. I'll do the first one, and then you'll do the second to see how you did. Again, 2 operations. I'll add the opposite, keep and add the opposite. Once again, I have a -9. I'll keep it and add the opposite. This time I have, and we talked about how we can rewrite this so that the like signs are together. This will give me now an 8 plus a -9. Unlike signs will give me a -1. You try the last one, and once again, we'll review them when we're all together. Have a nice day.